A very good evening to the innovators of India. Today, we are assembled here to celebrate the World Intellectual Property Day 2023. The theme is Women and IP Accelerating Innovation and Creativity. Empowering women and encouraging their participation in the economy helps in the overall health of an economy. Furthermore, incentivizing participation by providing recognition and protection to the contribution of women towards innovation and creativity causes a ripple effect which can motivate the generation of young girls to come forward. 2022 also saw women excelling in other fields. One example being the Nobel Prize in Chemistry granted to Caroline Ruth Bertoggi jointly with Carl Bailey Sharpless and Morton B. Meldal for the development of click chemistry and bioorthogonal chemistry. So that's just an example. The women had continued the legacy since long. In India, the National Intellectual Property Rights Policy, which was adopted in 2016, makes a specific reference to the encouraging and supporting capacity building among women creators. Innovators also entrepreneurs, practitioners, teachers, and trainers too. In fact, the patent rules per the recent amendment provided a mechanism for expedited examinations, wherein this option was available inter alia where the applicant or one or more applicants is a woman. So while encouraging, there is definitely a need for more such measures to ensure a full and inclusive participation by women in the task force and for them to reach their full creative and innovative potential. So today, we are very privileged that we have with us Professor Neeta Awasthy, Dr. Mousumi Debnath, and Dr. Deepika Singh. Myself, Dr. Prachi Pandey, a registered patent agent, professor and deputy director in Center of Startups and Entrepreneurship at KPGU, Vadodara, Gujarat. We welcome all the guests, and I would take the privilege of introducing one by one all the great women, excellent innovators today. So, Professor Neeta Awasthy. Professor Neeta Awasthy is the director, GL Bajaj Group of Institution. She is a technology evangelist, an innovator, design thinker, a speaker, and a motivator. With 4 PhD scholars completed their research, more than 40 research papers, 4 books, a YouTube channel, and 2 websites to credit. She is a central government official turned entrepreneur, worked as a full-time software consultant for almost 12 years for Trunky Solutions to mainly automobile industries, turned academician. So that's great. A graduate from HBTI with a master's and a PhD and an energy auditor. A central government official turned entrepreneur. So we really welcome you, ma'am, in today's session. You are a great innovator. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Mousumi Debnath. Presently, Dr. Mousumi Debnath is working as an associate professor in the Department of Biosciences. She loved being a teacher and grooming young minds. She is an AICTE Career Awardee for Young Teacher. She is a New Delhi DAAD Germany, DAD Germany alumni, Endeavour Postdoctoral Fellow Australia Award, Purdue University USA alumni, and she has also 3 patents published. Previously, Dr. Mousumi Debnath was heading and managing a team of 25 scientists in the food testing lab at CEG Test House and the Research Center Private Limited, CEG Test House. She is a merit scholar from Calcutta University and professionally a metabolomist having more than 15 years of teaching and research experience in the field of analytical sciences, specifically chromatography and mass spectrometry of secondary metabolites. She has experience in setting up of a chemical, bioanalytical, and microbiological laboratories, right from site selection, purchasing of instruments, recruitment of staffs, preparation of SOPs, training of staff, IQ, OP, OQ of all instruments. Also, they have 2 books published from Springer and Wiley Blackman. We heartily welcome you, ma'am, in the today's session. It will have a great discussion because you are a great panelist. Dr. Deepika Singh, the another panel member. Dr. Deepika Singh, an advocate and a patent agent, WISE-KIRAN IPR alumnus 2011, an alumnus of the prestigious Women Scientist Scholarship Program. Her name features among the 100 success stories compiled by the Department of Science and Technology. She is a full time IP practitioner, also a facilitator for startups for IPR, and is on IPR advisory panels of few universities and incubation centers. We take the privilege to welcome you, ma'am. Very, very warm regards to all the excellent women innovators today. So, with this, first of all, I would like to invite the first panel member, Professor Neeta Awasthy, to please come forward. And first of all, Neeta ma'am, I just wish to share your innovation journey and any advice to the audience that you would like to give. And also, as you are much into design and critical thinking, we request you to give a quick master class on critical thinking. So, yes, yes, ma'am, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Prachi. Thank you, Turnip, for bringing me in this panel. Am I properly audible, Dr. Prachi?
Yes, perfectly.
Fine. So you have given already my introduction as a central government official turned entrepreneur. And thereafter, for 12 years, I was an entrepreneur. And thereafter, I turned into an academician. So you are asking about that journey from a central government official to entrepreneur, I believe, right? So that is a small part of it, which says that it was 1990 that I understood I was in NTPC in 1988. And I realized since I was married, I was not be able to stay in my family with my husband and everybody unless I leave my job. This is what I thought. So I left the job and I started my own business. At that time, it was not a startup at that time. That term didn't catch up, neither the entrepreneurship part of it. It was Apna Kaam. So I started doing that part. And I was making the tailor-made softwares for basically automobile firms, dealerships to be precise. So that continued for almost 12 years. And interesting part is that is the time when people think that, well, you are already established, why did you switch? That was a question. And thereafter, that too, when you are working from home, work from home is a norm now. But that time it was like, business nahi chal raha hai, isliye ghar se kaam kar rahe hain. So the things which made me move were much more than simple your education or qualification or experience or passion. It was more of that, well, I want to do something and I have to prove. Yeah. So that is one thing. So that part was very interesting. And and as you said, your lesson that I would like to give to any suggestion for the younger generation, that during that tenure, there was a time when I really rented an office. And that was one big mistake that I made, because I was paying for my house and I was paying for my office also. So it was only because people said that maybe the work is not going very well. This is why she is working from home. But actually I was working from home because I had a child and I had to take care of the child also. That was a mistake that I made. And I would really, one suggestion that I would like to give to people is, if you can work from home, spare a room, make it an office, do whatever, work from home, that is very good for the family and specifically for the children. And people will keep saying one thing or the other. We have seen that part, so don't go into it. That is one thing. And then you said into the design thinking and critical thinking. Yes, I have been taking many design thinking workshops and course also. I am one person to whom the solutions just come as they see. I don't even know where I connected the dots and I have brought in the solution. But actually many things go into it. As you have given me a very specific thing, that a master class in critical thinking. So I'll only take up that part. So at core, critical thinking is what if analysis. If I'm teaching that to a history student, I would ask, what if Sukhdev, Bhagat Singh and Rajguru didn't surrender? For a CSE student, computer science student, I would ask, what if I remove a layer from artificial neural network that you have already formed and change the range of the weight? For a management student, I would question, what if the inflation in India goes as high as 100% and interest rate goes as high as 80%, the same that is having in Argentina? With our population, what impact will it have? So that is the critical thinking type of questions that we teach, and this is how we go ahead. I would like to give specifically one very important case study. There was a professor, John E. Arnold. He was in Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and thereafter in Stanford also. But in MIT, between 1953 to 56, he floated a very strong case study about designing the gadgets for the residents of a planet, and that name was Arcturus 4. Now, this case study was given in manuscript and then was photocopied, cyclostyled at that time. It went into archives and it was forgotten. Recently, in 2012-13, his son took it up from one of the archives and brought it to the planet, truly speaking, to the internet. So that was a science fiction story ahead by time in 1000 years in future. So if you are enjoying the story today, imagine that that has happened 1000 years back. So this case study was brought in to bring imagination and creativity into the students. So Arcturus project was more like a play than work. We all have played, imagine this has some chore ho, main police hu, kind of thing. So this is how it reveals. Now the story revolves around the intergalactic trade between Earth organizations and the inhabitants of fourth planet orbiting a star, and the name of the star is, let us say, it was Alpha Bootus. That was in Arcturus constellation. Now this is 33 light years away from Earth. Now the way of life there is vastly different from what is happening in Earth. Instead of oxygen, they are breathing methane. Now the plot unfolds through a series of letters exchanged between the Earth organizations and their representatives of Arcturus 4. And actually, they were two groups of people. The central focus of the story is Arcturus, Arcturians, if you say, specific needs and products that each group will be creating. And the ultimate goal was to exchange these products for high-grade uranium and platinum without exploiting each other and to the benefit of both of them. The temperature of, now imagine how this planet looks like. The temperature on Arcturus 4 was much colder than Earth. Summer temperature -50, winters -110. Planet's atmosphere primarily consists of methane gas. Gravity was 11 times that of Earth. The vegetation grows upside down with the roots into the ground, and the fruits grow inside the soil. So furthermore, the inhabitants of the planet had evolved from large birds possessing exceedingly long arms and legs, 3 fingers per hand, hooves for feet, and X-ray eye between their 2 or more eyes. But they were social and intelligent. Now, it was asked that you create gadgets for them. Just wait, please. Sorry. Just wait. Now, let us say you have to create a timepiece for them. So how would Methanians, if we call them, they keep track of the time? And that is on that planet whose day is 159 hours of that, what our hours are. Instead of 24 hours, it is 129 hours. And what will be the unit of time? These banks and more were filled by their students and thus was developed as it is. Now, since they had only 3 fingers per hand, one of the students said, let us give them a base 6 number system. Now, if the number system is base 6, what should be on the dial? Now, their behavioral stimulus response was 2 seconds. If it is 2 seconds behavioral stimulus and response, it is hard to believe how this person will be dancing. They listen to music and respond after 2 seconds. Then next thing is Methanians did not have any motorized vehicle. So if we design one for them, what would be and what will be its maximum speed? When you know that the terrain of Arcturus 4 is so rough and the resident's stimulus response lag is 2 seconds. Now, when faced with the challenge of creating appliances that can cater to requirements of the individuals with vastly different anatomies, imagine the ergonomics. How should it be approached? Now, what Professor Arnold's philosophy was, it was to emphasize the importance of engineers mastering more than just factual knowledge and formulas to becoming skilled engineers. While these are necessary, no doubt, but it is not sufficient. Our engineering education is based on analysis. What was lacking and is lacking in engineering education is the teaching of creative problem solving, which was not being addressed. The conventional analytic engineering approach was and is effective to solving problems with a single correct answer, such as determining whether a bridge would it be able to handle the expected loads and when little collapse. This approach was not suited for addressing a wide range of challenges that have multiple viable solutions and have no clear best answers. For example, in today's perspective, if I ask you, is it possible for a phone to have all possible features? Maybe a car that has all possible features? Then there shouldn't be any alternative. Similarly, can there be an ERP which has all the solutions, or a learning management system for that matter, or a social media platform, or any UX design? Only one solution that fits all? Is that possible? No. This is why we have so many choices. So if you see carefully, the social media platforms only, I'll take just 30 seconds or maybe less, are meant for different purposes. Instagram is for younger generation who is into videos and audios. Facebook is meant for those who wish to show a personal side of themselves. LinkedIn is for professionals. Medium is for writers, and so on and so forth. So in that situation, how to find the optimal solution? Now, Professor Arnold was of the opinion that there were certain creative problem-solving techniques that can be taught and addressed. He believed that these techniques can be taught and learned, and they could result in improved outcomes. Now, if I added up all this into one go, creative thinking is what would you do in a situation which you have never been into? A problem which never appeared. How would you react to it? You don't have similar problems every day. You have different things. So you have to come out of it differently. So if you have that approach of a creative thinker, if you can visualize the thing, if you can imagine that, very well, you can be a critical thinker and thereafter a very good design thinker also, provided your empathy part is 100 on 100. This is where I would like to stop. Thank you, Prachi.
Prachi ma'am is muted.
You're on mute, Dr. Prachi.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Neeta Awasthy. It was indeed a wonderful journey that you have really paved, and you have given great insights about the critical thinking and design thinking too. So thanks a lot to you. And now I'd like to invite Dr. Mousumi Debnath. So, ma'am, I wish that you should share your innovation journey and something you should tell us about your patents. and how you are going to be like commercializing your patent, something about the IP commercialization, because that's the most important part. And also, as you have like exposure to various scholarships and foreign scholarships, so can you share some experience with various scholarship and foreign exposure to the audience so that other women innovators can be benefited?
Thank you. Thank you, Prachi. Thank you, Turnip, for giving me a chance to speak and letting me know some of the wonderful thing which creative learning I never knew so much. So thank you, ma'am. It was wonderful to get an insight into it. Basically, my journey into innovation started since I started teaching way back in the year 2001. I'd been an ardent researcher. So as a researcher, I started thinking and then putting them into my lab, and things started moving. But I came to an understanding that just putting everything on paper, that is with publication, things were not working in the way that it should have been. Like my work was not going to the society. So whenever you are working in the lab, the inputs of the lab and the output which has been generated should be for the benefit of the society. And whenever we have such a thinking, there comes the output in terms of certain type of paperwork, and that paperwork should be a legal paperwork. So whenever we think in that way, the thinking was in the terms of I should think of some type of an IPR. So that inculcated, and we started working in that field. My group of students are my basic strength who had been working. So my Manipal University, Jaipur, had been very helpful in this whole journey, where I got the support of my university, as well as the basic strength of my students, who put all my thoughts, who put everything and took the shoulder how to put them into work. And there's where we started with Sambar Lake. That was my first work, which inculcated into 2 patents. So the first one where we were working was we were very much worried about the wastewater, which has been a byproduct, you can say, of all the industries. And these industries don't actually, I shouldn't say, treat it in the proper way. So the thing was, I need to clean all the wastewater. And it is not just one industry that we were targeting. Initially, we targeted all the colored waters, which had high COD level and high POD level. So instantly, we feel that that water cannot be utilized. And as you know, after a certain period of time, this water also would be even costly than gold. So we need to understand that can we reduce, if not the level of the pollutants, how do we think of reducing it in a certain level where at least the plants can utilize. We targeted to certain industries where more and more amount of water was being utilized. That was the textile industries. And these textile industries, as you know, I belong to Rajasthan, so there are more than 2000 textile industries, and the same water is going for irrigation. So we started working with that water. The major aim was to reduce the pollutant level, and we came up with a technology which is called as moving bed biofilm reactor. And my Sambar Lake project gave me certain bacteria which could produce certain biosurfactants. So both patched up, and we started cleaning the water which was generated from the industry. Similarly, the nutraceutical industry also creates lot of colored water. So we worked on that also, and we cleared their water. Then we started working on ceramic industry water, and then our technology did work well. And one of my students was specifically going daily to the industry, and we we were able to give good results. Presently, we are working with sewage water, and we expect with our fingers crossed that our technology would be valid, and that is what our patents wants to give to the society. And there came my company, the company which is recognized by Startup India portal, Biosolve Innovations Private Limited. And the company also initiates all this problems and how we can solve these problems. Basically, all the colored water, all the water that has a large number of pollutants needs to be clean, so that we give Mother Earth the less burden of carrying on these pollutants. As you know, I was working with Biosolve, and I'm the founder director of Biosolve, and our work is with biosurfactants. So the second patent was initiated right at Sambar Lake only, the same microorganisms, and we came up with a fabric cleaner additive. And this additive is a one which has more powerful. As you know, there's one more company who comes with Henko is a company who says that you can wash without having itching in your fingers. So this is something that we want to give. This is a part of our journey where we want to give all the detergent makers immobilized type of an enzyme that can add in to their detergent mix and make them easier to wash, better to wash. The third patent that has already been published is something related to olives. So in our experience with olive, we initiated our project with Rajasthan Olive Cultivation Limited. We went with an MOU with them. And after that, there were two more universities who joined Manipal University, Jaipur. That was Central University of Agartala, called as Tripura University, and it was Jivaji University. So we tried to make a probiotic drink, which was having all the efficacies, like it was anti-cancerous and it was also anti-diabetic. Basically, this product is already under the commercialization process, and the government of Rajasthan has taken up this initiative because ROCL works under the PPP model, and I'm the main inventor of this particular patent. It has already been published last year. The fourth patent which I have is already published, and it is in the name of my company, where we have created, it's a part of a journey with polyherbal compounds. And these polyherbal compounds are basically compounds from different types of plants. So can I incorporate this particular compounds into certain type of products? For example, textiles is coming up in a huge way. So I thought about creating something which is having a biodegradable polymer. So we got our same biodegradable polymer from Sambar Lake. Those bacteria were preparing, and we wanted to integrate it with our herbal mix. So maybe coronavirus might think whether you're wearing something which is antiviral garment, or you want to have that poly herbal formulation as a medicine. So it depends on you. So my company is also formulating such a mix which has all the beauty of different types of therapeutics, which can be incorporated in a textile. So textile, as you know, is coming up with an antimicrobial textile. So there are so many things. You can also put them as fixtures. But what we are thinking is, it is called as a electrospinning method, where you are spinning this polyherbal drug into the textile, and this textile also has a mixture with certain type of polymer which is biodegradable. I think so, with the COVID-19 coming up, our earth got a big burden of the mask which was continuously being thrown by us only. So how do we decompose them? So biodegradation is one very important thing that you have to think. So for product formulation, we have to think that, okay, are we giving something to the world which can be again a burden, or rather we do something which can easily be decomposed? So this particular patent, which is also published, the fourth one, is based on this polyherbal formulation, which has many different types of usages. And in this journey, Wipro Life Sciences is also a part of my journey, as well as Ayush Raj. We also have a MOU with them. They are also a part of the journey.
Great.
But I would like to say you all that IPR doesn't just mean patents. It also means trademark. So the name of my company, Biosol, if I keep it like that, like you can think of Apple. So Apple is a word which is for only particular type of a company. So, and then you have a logo also. So please try to think that if you have such a type of a thing which is called as trademark, then you can initiate to dignify as well as to symbolize your name of your company as well as the product that you are giving. So my company Biosolve, the name also has been applied for trademark, and I think so it is already in due course of getting it. And the next one is the symbol. The company's symbol is also been accredited with their trademark. So my dear friends, just don't try to symbolize the word IPR with patents. It means copyrights, designs, trademarks, as well as patents. So I have put my foot into this two type of IPRs, that is patents as well as the trademark, and we are in the process of design and copyright too. So my dear friends, when I think of all these things that I have tried to move ahead with, but what is the outcome? The outcome should be in terms of projects, in terms of certain things which goes directly to the community. So we have got DST imprint project with NIT Warangal at Manipal University, Jaipur, where I have tried to incorporate my technology along with technology from chemical engineering. So this is a combo type of a technology, and we are now putting it to a next patent too very soon, as well as a design to the whole type of a system that we have grown. And you would be happy to know it is in collaboration to the industry, where our product is already been into system. They are already cleaning it. So what does it mean? That whatever you do, it should directly have a good handshake to the society. It is not for generating any type of income alone, but to give Mother Earth something which stays and is not a burden. So, my dear students, and all my dear faculties who are all seeing this, I would like to say that all this journey needs certain training, and the training is in terms of discipline type of a orientation and experience that you have. The experience is when you go, not only learn in your lab, but you go abroad also. And for that, what you need is some type of butterflies in your stomach. You should apply for different type of fellowships and then go and get it. Okay, I also did the same. And the first thing which I got was the DAD award. So, dear students, DAD is a very big platform who gives not only to young students, but also to young researchers, young teachers, as well as expert teachers. I should say expert teachers because at that time they keep on teaching, teaching, teaching. So that is an expert teacher. So you are funded. You know, when you go abroad, you need to sustain also. So you need a very good financial status too. So funding not only gives you a financial security, but it also gives you a prestige. When you go from the immigration person also puts a salute and says, wow, ye hamare desh ki shaan hai. So my dear students, my dear faculty members who are watching this, please go abroad and learn disciplined research. So my topic was, I was working with abiotic stress tolerance with metabolomic approaches. So I went not only to Germany, but after that I went to Purdue University, US, where I also learned under the support system of AICT. I learned under Professor Natalia Dudariva how the metabolomics works. So please try to have more and more amount of exposure. And then finally, I got the AIC, Australian Award, which is under the Department of Employment and Workforce by the Government of Australia, where I learned at University of Melbourne under Uta Rosner professor that how do we go for it? How do we understand that in a particular metabolite, how can I generate more amount of metabolite to go and cater to the needs of society? Please take in your conscious mind that whenever you are going for any type of a scholarship, do look into all the available entry points, what you need to have, what you need to do before you go for all the scholarships, and then go for it. And I'm sure life would be much more easier in a foreign land where you'll get lots of opportunities and learn how to go ahead. So my only thing that I would like to say is, maybe life is a little tough if you are honest and sincere, but be a marathon race runner. Life would be always easier when you are honest and sincere. So, hard work always pays, but smart work, do it properly, then only you will win in today's world. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prachi
Great,
ma'am. Thank
great.
you, Ra.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mousumi Debnath. It was an excellent journey, and really, it was quite inspiring. Really, like the today's theme of World Intellectual Property Days. So, all our excellent women innovators have really proved it that women in IP are really accelerating innovation and creativity. It was really inspiring, and I just wish to share that as in my incubator, like associated with a university, our focus area is waste management. So whenever some waste management or wastewater management DPIIT recognized startups comes to us, we leave all work and just sit with them for hours and we talk and for hours and hours, because that is the focus area of societal impact. And really, that should be the kind of a aim of a startup, that they should cater to the needs of the society. It was an excellent session, and yes, we should create a benchmark not only in India but outside India also. So that is
Thank
very
you.
necessary, that we should have a very honest and sincere research. So that's great. And now I am moving forward with Dr. Deepika Singh. So Dr. Deepika Singh has a expertise in the field of IPR, and so I wish to ask Dr. Deepika, ma'am, can you please share your experience and background in the IT field, because you are well versed with that, and also tell us a bit about the DST Women of Science scheme, because many women innovators, young innovators, really are very inquisitive how to apply for it and how to get the benefit of that scheme. Any other thing if you wish to share, please, you are most welcome. So yes, ma'am, please come forward.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Prachi, and thank you, Professor Neeta ma'am and Dr. Mousumi ma'am. It was very nice listening to you, and very inspiring too. And you also shared how you went about and what were the challenge that you actually faced. So actually, I started off as a researcher, as a PhD student in University of Delhi. So in a genetics department, and that was at that time I never imagined that someday I would be leading a life beyond a research lab. because as a PhD student you are so focused on your work, you're so focused on your topic. It's like you live in your ivory tower. You just don't even know what is outside your PhD department. So what happened was that I had a break in my career, and after that break I just thought that maybe I should upskill myself. So there was an advertisement for a women scientist scheme, C scheme, which is now called Women in Science and Engineering, WISE, Kiran IPR. So I applied for that scheme, and I was selected. So that was actually what I thought was that maybe I will upskill myself. The place where I had worked, it was basically a publication based research that we used to do. uh, we did not have an IP background. That IP policy was not really applied in our lab, and it was only about publications and publications and more publications. So I really felt that maybe I'll get some exposure and about IPR, about which I at that time I did not know much, to be honest. So once I joined this program, I was selected, and it was actually in 2010 I had joined, and at that time, even now, PFC TIFAC, Patent Facilitation Center, TIFAC is the one that implements this scheme through a Department of Science and Technology. So our director and all the staff, they were very nice. We had a very rigorous training session for 1 month, and after that 11 months of internship at a location, at a law firm, or at PFC. So at PFC, it was so amazing for me, because before that, for PhD, I had only done my topic. But when I was going through patents, different patents, I came across mechanical engineering innovations, chemical innovations, innovations coming from botany departments. It was so amazing for me. I really enjoyed my time there. And at that time, I thought that maybe life had something different, not just postdoc, maybe life had, IPR for me. So after graduating from this women scientist program, I applied for a law school, and I completed my LLB after this program. So since then, I'm in IPR only. So actually, I also wish to say that women scientist scheme, there are three women scientist scheme actually. There's a women scientist A scheme, women scientist B scheme, and a women scientist C scheme. So these days, these are women in and S scheme. So A scheme is for postdoc fellowships for women. So these are especially meant for women who have had a break in their careers, whatever the reason. It could be maternity, it could be ill health, and then coming back and rejoining workforce is always such a huge challenge. So A scheme is for postdoc fellowship. B scheme is you can select a mentor and write a project with them, and they can host the project in their institute, and you can be a PI on that project. And Women Scientist C scheme is for intellectual property rights. They train you in such a way that you know about all the intellectual property rights. As Mousumi ma'am said, that they are not just limited to patents. You also have trademarks, you have designs, uh, plant variety protection. Then there are semiconductors and layout circuit designs, and copyrights, and GIs, trademarks. So all of these are highly, highly recommended, if especially if you own a business, you are a startup, or you are even a researcher, and you are thinking that I want to, like Mosmi ma'am said, I want to give back to the society, or you want to commercialize something which you have created. So I think IPR is a huge, huge tool in your hands to achieve your dreams, and the ultimate goal is actually the benefit of the society. So if somebody has any questions or inputs, I will be very happy to answer, and I can we can share the link for the women scientist programs, for those who are interested just to go and apply.
Yeah, thank you very much, Deepika ma'am. It was indeed very useful for the innovators, women innovators who would like to apply for the schemes. So yes, one thing I would just share from my point of view is like today actually, as it was a World Intellectual Property Day, in my campus, actually I arranged a program in which we felicitated all the young women innovators, students who are working, filed patents, or like developed something, some PhD students. So basically, those were students, alumni, or early stage startups. Some startups who were applying under Startup India Seed Fund. So those somewhere they couldn't be selected for grants, but they were on the on hold list. Sometime it happens that committee don't select, but those startups were really good. Today we felicitated them, and it was an inspiration for all the, not only for them but the whole crowd. The whole crowd was fully inspired. So we can say that it's a kind of hand holding that one innovator can give to another. So it is very contagious. I think innovation and IPR, we get inspired from each other. So among all the women innovators, suppose if 10 are getting felicitated, others 100 will be inspired, and in the next session the next 100 could be on the stage. So that same message I gave to the especially the young students innovators who are doing small very innovative projects, and using the natural biodegradable substances, like even they have like some innovative also, like nano sponges based drug delivery systems they have created. One very small project was they are using very like psyllium husk and adsorbent materials, very natural, like they have not filed yet the patent, and they have prepared the sanitary napkins using that. That was never done, biodegradable, very cost effective. So some projects, one product was really a jugular box, that was a kind of physiotherapy product. So these products were just, I thought that they were so young, like even 20 to 25 years, and their thoughts were so high. So I can say that the newer generations of innovators are really progressing very well. They have very innovative ideas that even we can learn from some students who can bring some such innovative ideas, and like it has a huge potential of commercialization too. So newer generation have a potential of really bringing something in the market in a very quick way, and yeah, they can generate the revenue and can like move towards the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiatives. Research is usually the most important part of any innovator's life, doing PhD, postdocs, and yes, opportunities for funding from Indian government as well as the other governments too. Foreign collaborations, industrial collaborations, that is the most part, because what we feel is like sometime in our lab we prepare something, develop a prototype, but we need industries to scale up for technology transfer, and that collaboration really works. And it's very important, especially as we are in academia, that we should have some industrial collaborations. We could have like some industry defined works that we can even take up, can do in our lab, and later on can like commercialize with the help of industries. So industry footprints are also important here. Rest part, I'm just appreciating all the efforts from Professor Neeta Awasthy, then Dr. Mousumi Debnath, Dr. Deepika Singh. All have done really excellent works in their field and really leading the innovation and creativity. If any questions from the audience side, please, I request, I welcome all the audience to please express their views, ask questions from all the esteemed guests, because it's an excellent opportunities that you are interacting live with all of you, all of the excellent women innovators. So yeah, if there is any question, please ask, and we can answer your questions, and we'll be happy to answer them. And not only yours, because I just said that it's contagious. Your question and answers will really help many other innovators. So it will be a kind of like support that we can extend to each other. I can see like there are a lot of innovators who are appreciating the program very well, especially for Professor Neeta Awasthy, Dr. Mousumi Debnath, Dr. Deepika Singh, and they have really appreciated, they have acknowledged all the supports, all the kind of discussions. So yeah, I again welcome the esteemed female innovators to please wish to share something or any inputs they can, or if they wish to like answer any specific question, they can come forward.
I would
I
like
would
to
like
add
to.
one more thing. Can I?
Yeah, ma'am, please, please, please.
Yes.
That in fact, right now we do not know. See, I mean, we are creating engineers, managers, uh, but 5 years, 10 years down the line, you do not know whether these roles will exist. So, what we need to prepare our students to that new roles, new designations, new kind of job uh, that can come up in next 40 years. We have to prepare them for that. How can you do that? Only unless you give them strength so that they can learn, upgrade themselves, be a lifelong learner, open their mind, be adaptive to the situation. This is the things we need to teach to our students. If we really want to prepare them for next 40 years, and we are preparing them for the job roles, for the careers which do not exist right now. That was my take. Thank you,
Yes.
Dr.
Thanks.
Mosh.
Yeah, I would like to tell all the students who are listening to this particular program that any idea that you have is not a bad idea. Just think about it. Can you make it work? You might stumble, but you will get up. Please remember, when you stumble, when you fail, it is that you have made an effort. So please don't forget making efforts. When you think that this particular idea has actually made 0.001% success, I'm sure that idea is going to make 100% success. Because you have tried. You have tried, you made an effort, and that effort making makes you go ahead. So please just think of that effort that you're putting. And secondly, all the dear students who are listening, try to become industry abled. Your work should lead to a industry, lead to working in an industry or giving some type of a support to an industry. Whether you can be an innovator or not, that is another thing. If you can become an innovator, that's wonderful because you have the power to think, and thinking will lead you to something. So, what we teachers would like to help you out is just handhold you and take you to your desired goal. So, my dear students, don't feel any idea that you have is not good. Please keep on thinking and try to make that idea so much solid, so much research. If required, you have to do a little bit of research in any type that you want to do so that your idea becomes so much solid that you put up a patent, or you put up a design, you put up a copyright, or you go for a trademark. And then you come with that established one, put up your industry. So with Atmanirbhar Bharat, we all want that you guys also come up and let us make our country full-fledged. In a way, able our country make up as a developed country and keep competing with all the developing and the developed countries too. So please don't forget to stop thinking but keep on thinking. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Any message from Dr. Deepika Singh?
Oh, I just agree with Professor Neeta actually, because now that artificial intelligence is here, a lot of roles are going to be redundant or we have to adapt accordingly. We have to, this generation has to really adapt to new roles, new technologies, and many of these old jobs are just going to fade away. They have already faded away, in fact, to be honest. So I agree with Professor Neeta that, we have to adapt to the changes which are happening, and they are happening at a very fast rate. And Dr. Mousumi, thanks for our inspiring words. I'm sure all the students here, they are going to love it, because yes, your ideas really, idea is the first stage, and then you have to build upon it and make it, take it to the logical ending, whether it is in terms of for technology, it is in terms of for design, it is in terms of, for commercialization, for industry, for whatever purpose. But first step is the idea. So thank you, Dr. Mosmi. This was a really wonderful thing. And in our country, most labs are really, still that IP culture is not yet, it has not really taken up the way it should, the way it is in foreign universities. In foreign universities, first thing they will say, let's patent this. In India, they will say, no, let's publish this. So that is a big, a big change which has to come about. We have to create that, innovation culture in our workplaces.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very much, Deepika. And being like a patent professionals, we would like to give a message. If you have a very good idea, you should go for provisional patent filing, protect it.
Yes.
After that, you can publish it. So, because in
Yes.
academic, sometimes publication is also necessary. So, but
Yes.
we should go for a provisional patent filing. So, some questions are there like how to do a copyright, how to do a patent. So, yeah, definitely we can say that we should go first for a provisional patent filing for an idea. And yes, you must not publicize it. You must not go for like any conference proceedings which is not of any government, central government, like organized, which is central government organized. And yes, you can definitely display among a short like a small community which are of central government. If you are using it for trial purpose experimentation, that is fine, but do not go for public use before patent filing. So in this way, like, because there are some questions, so prior claiming, prior use, prior publications not allowed before provisional patent filing. So once you have an idea, even do not discuss with a friend or on a social media, just for because many student innovators feel that I should discuss with somebody, because they may kill the novelty of the innovation. So from IP perspective, we should be little bit careful about how to protect our ideas. Definitely for experimentation purpose, we can do it, but we should keep our data with ourselves till we get the patent rights, at least till the provisional filing. So, yes, thank you very much to all the excellent women innovators. Questions are there, but these are general questions, so I am not sharing because that is like how to file patents, how to file the copyrights. Definitely, there are ways to do it, and we can learn it definitely. So, thanks a lot to Professor Neeta Awasthy, Dr. Mousumi Debnath, Dr. Deepika Singh. It was an amazing interaction with all of you. Really,
Thank
we
you.
got inspired by your journey, the way you are creating impact in someone's life, in our society, in India, in abroad, and helping all others to really for their growth. So why we are here to support each other and to support the community. So that's why the beauty of a womanhood is like we are always there to support the system. That's the way. And that's why it's a kind of encouragement for all the women innovators today. It's a celebration of World IP Day. And yeah, the theme is fulfilled today as we have discussed the right points. And really it and as I can see the comments, all the innovators have got inspired. All are thankful to all the innovators present today, the panel members. So with this, we are signing off from the session. Thanks a lot to all the women innovators.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you, Dr.
much.
Prachi.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.